Hare Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Manatira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva Gaur Bhaktavinda Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Shri Ram Sankirtan ki, Shri Prabhupada ki, Adita Pavan Shri Panchatattva ki, Shri Radha Madhav ki, Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maya ki, Shri Gaunitaya ki, Sri Krishna Balarama ki. Hare Krishna. So welcome all of you on this auspicious day of Lord Balaram's appearance. And also the second anniversary of Sri Radha Madhava Mandir. 2 years back, at this time I was in a very big stress because we had made all the arrangements to install the deities, but we missed to take permission from the deity ministry. And the permission came today morning 6 a.m., Balaram Purnima morning 6 a.m. on 2021. Otherwise, there was a notice sent not to install the deities. And we had already sent all over Hyderabad on newspapers that today is a temple opening, please come. But the Lord was very kind. Devotees were very kind that the Lord manifested on this auspicious day here at Attapur. So, today is the appearance of Lord Balaram. So there is a lot of description about Lord Balaram because we are already late today. So I'll offer directly prayers and take the pranam mantra. Om Jnanati Mirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshushun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vikakam Vitam Shah He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Peshnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyatya Deshatarine Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Srivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Lord Balaram, we all know that Lord Balaram is Krishna's, that after coming to ISKCON. Before that, the first thing what we know is that Lord Balaram is the elder brother of Krishna. And whatever pastimes Lord Krishna does in Vrindavan, Lord Balaram is there. Because Braja Leela is very, very Madhuryamay Leela, Lord Balaram doesn't misses anything. But when he comes outside of Vrindavan, Lord Balaram chooses, like Kurukshetra battle, he doesn't want it to be, so he goes away. No? And also, on another Balaram Purnima day, when Krishna went to forest, that day he killed actually Aghasur. And after Aghasur pastime, everything changed in Vrindavan. Everything changed in Vrindavan. Why? Because after Aghasur killing, Brahmaji was very surprised. He was very surprised to see, Arey, how can this boy kill such a big serpent? And then he wanted to test, who is he? Lord Brahma was also put in illusion by Krishna's energy. Even Brahma forgot that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. If Brahma can forget, what to speak about us? We know so much. Who is the Supreme Lord? What is the goal of life? But immediately after we hear it, within few seconds we forget. So even Brahma forgets. Sometimes the Lord makes it forget. So the Lord expands himself as all the cowherd boys and the calves of Vrindavan. And Balaramji, he says, Krishna, Vrindavan doesn't look the same. Balaram tells Krishna, out of curiosity, Vrindavan doesn't look the same. I have never seen the cows loving their calves so much. And I have never seen the elderly gopis loving their child so much. This is a complete divine experience. Why? Because Krishna has expanded himself into all the calves and the cowherd boys of Vrindavan. So Lord Balaramji missed one of these pastimes. But of course, beyond this, our Shastras, they explain that Lord Balaram's vivid description in the Shastras is so much that you will come in our conclusion will be everything is Lord Balaram. Everyone is Lord Balaram. Everything is done by Lord Balaram. And all the strength is from Lord Balaram. If you read the scriptures properly, if you read the purport, Bhaktivedanta purports, you will understand who is Lord Balaram. He is the first expansion of Krishna. He is the first expansion of Krishna. Krishna has, we have to know the Supreme Lord's position philosophically. When we understand that, then we appreciate and we also understand the Leela Tattva. That's when we understand the Leela Tattva. The pastimes of the Lord leaves a very deep teaching and a very deep philosophical conclusion. But when you know the position of Lord Balaram from the scriptures, then you will be able to relate it. The simplest example is, for example, all of us sitting here. Suppose there is a happy moment in our life, happiest moment in our life. Of course, happiest moment in the material world is temporary. Suppose you pass in 10th standard with 95%. You can celebrate, buy sweets, and your parents will call everyone. There will be a celebration for 1-2 days. But after 1 year, can you celebrate the same day? Arey, you remember? Last year on this date, you passed 10th standard. Can you do that? No. You cannot. And even at that moment when you passed your 10th standard, or you bought a new house, you bought a new car, you will always depend on someone to reciprocate and relish this happiness. Correct? All of you understand this? You will depend. For example, if you pass 10th standard and you take your certificate, go home. In your whole building, nobody is there. You go home to your house, nobody is there. Whole house is empty, building is empty. Will you be able to enjoy? No. You need someone. But the same application when it comes to the Lord doesn't depend on anyone. Lord doesn't depend on anyone. He doesn't need someone. From within Him, there is expansions. From within Him, there is expansions. So it is said, to serve the Lord and assist. To serve the Lord and assist Him, Lord Balaram is the first expansion. And to give pleasure to Lord, to give pleasure to Him, Srimati Radharani is another expansion. So this way, the scriptures explains about the expansion, Lord Balaram as a first expansion of the Lord. And then there is a beautiful description in the Bhagavatam and specifically in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami very beautifully narrates all what is in the Bhagavatam, very beautifully, in Bhagavatam, various other Shastras. He very beautifully narrates and puts it together in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, where he glorifies the 5th chapter. What is that? Glorification of Lord Nityananda Balaram. In that chapter, he beautifully glorifies. So, there is a description of the Lord's form. Powerful Lord Balaram is 16 years old. So, that is why he is Supreme Lord. He doesn't age. He doesn't need cosmetic industry. He doesn't age. He's always 16. You know, world second biggest industry is cosmetic. Why? People don't want to age. That is why. So, he is always 16 like Krishna. Full of luster, of youth, and has a fair complexion. Just keep the Lord's form only. Fair complexion. The color of a crystal. He wears a blue garment and a garland of a forest flower. His handsome hair is tied a graceful top knot. Splendid earrings adorn his ears, and his necklace is splendidly decorated with garlands and flowers and strings of jewels. Splendid armlets and the bracelets, ornaments, dauji, graceful and very strong arms. His feet are decorated with splendid jewel anklets. Lord Balaram's beauty is enchanted by the earring touching his cheeks. His face is decorated with tilaka made of musk. His broad chest is ornamented with a garland of gunja. Balaram's voice is very grave and his arms are very long, touching his face. The splendor of Balaram's transcendental form applaces many millions of glistering rising moon, and the slightest scent of his boundless strength is sufficient to destroy armies of demons. Although he is known the supernatural power of his younger brother Krishna, still out of his love for him, he never leaves Krishna alone in the forest, even for a moment. Balaram is Krishna's dearest friend and is great reservoir of nectar mellow, of many kind of transcendental pastimes. So you can see the form of Lord Balaram, very beautiful, holding a plow in his hand, having a gunja garland on his face like moon, thousands of moon, and blue color garment. Very, very beautiful form of Lord Balaram. It is said, Krishna and Balaram, there is no difference. They are the same personality. Our acharyas, they explain. So there is only one difference in their color. Otherwise, they grew up together, they grew up in the Nanda Bhavan, and they both are same. In fact, if you go to Nandagaon, the Nandagaon, Lord Krishna and Balaram's pastimes, they are visible on various drawings. At the same time, the deity also speaks about their wonderful pastimes. Our Dinabandhu Prabhu, he beautifully explains. He said, if you go to Nanda Bhavan, on the top of the mountain Nandeshwar, Lord Shiva is actually Nandeshwar, the mountain on which Lord Krishna's house is. Nanda Bhavan is on the mountain. That mountain is Lord Shiva, Nandeshwar Mahadev. So up there, if you go, there is a beautiful deity of Lord Krishna, Balaram, and Mother Yashoda, and Nanda Baba, and Devi Rohini. But if you see, that is very special because in that temple, only temple, Krishna and Balaram, they both are dressed same. If you see, you will not recognize, both are holding flute, like this. Both are holding flute like this, same dress, same turban, same kurta, same dhoti, everything same. And Dinabandhu Prabhu explains very beautifully that when Krishna and Balaram were dressed separately, it used to be a big quarrel and harassment in the whole house. Because Krishna would see, Arey, Balaram is having a better turban. No, I want that turban. Then Balaram would say, Arey, Krishna is taking flute and going today. I also want a flute. They had to give a flute. They would say, Balaram's dhoti. Balaram would say, Krishna's dhoti. Oh, this is better than mine. I want this dhoti. They say, okay, bye. Give him this dhoti. So that way they decided in Nanda Bhavan, when they were very small, better to dress them same. Their same personalities, only differences in their color. So on this auspicious day, we will chant the pranam mantra of Lord Balaram and seek his blessings. Namaste halagraha, Namaste musalayudha, Namaste revati kanta, Namaste bhaktavatsala, Namaste balinam shrestha, Namaste dharani dhara, prarambara namaste tu, He himam Krishna purvaja. Obeisances to you, the holder of the plow. Obeisances to you, O wearer of the mace. Obeisances to you, O darling of Revati. Obeisances to you, who are very kind to the devotees. I offer my respectful obeisances to Lord Balaram, the best of the strong and the support of the earth. Obeisances unto you, O enemy of Pralamba. Please deliver me, O elder brother of Krishna. O elder brother of Krishna. So, when Balaram was born, he was born before Krishna. So it is said, after Balaram was born, Mother Yashoda also was having Krishna manifested in her heart. Mother Yashoda also had Krishna manifested in her heart. So one of our Acharya writes in his pastimes, in the 10th canto, he says that when Krishna was born, when Balaramji was born, he was very silent and मुंह फुला हुआ ऐसे, like that. Small baby, very beautiful, but not talking, not reciprocating much. But as soon as whenever Mother Yashoda would take Balaram on her lap and take him to his chest, Balaram would become very, very, very jubilant. He would open his eyes and he would smile and interact. Why? Because his master was in touch with him, who was in the heart of Mother Yashoda. Who was in the heart of Mother Yashoda. So that went on for 1 year, till Lord Krishna appeared. That went on for 1 year. So we know that Narad Muni, he went, because we all know the pastime how Kamsa heard. He had an Akash Muni, Akash Vani. He had an Akash Vani. What? Are Murkh comes. The lady whom you are taking, Devaki, her 8th son is going to be your Kal. So immediately Kamsa, he takes Vasudeva and Devaki and he puts them in the prison. He puts them in the... So when he puts them in the prison and then he waits, he decides that I will wait for the 8th child of Devaki who's going to be my Kal. Now, waiting till the 8th child would take much time. And if he would just wait, leaving each child, and how the pastime will go, we don't know. But we know the great devotee Narada Muni. He is a friend of everyone. Devotees of the Lord are friend of everyone. Narada Muni is a friend of everyone. He is a Shubchintak, demons and demigods, everyone's. Demons, demigods, everyone's. He is a Shubchintak, devotees, well-wisher of the devotees. So he went. And he doesn't mind, because he was always carrying the Lord in his heart. Whenever he would go to meet Hiranyakashipu, he would say, Jai Hiranyakashipu, and meet him also. And he would go to meet Kamsa, Hare Jai Kamsa ki Jai, and go and meet him, And then when he met him, the pastime goes like this, that Kamsa is worried and he tells that 8th child of Devaki is going to be my Kal, and the discussion goes on. And then Narad Muni wanted to speed up the pastime so that Krishna appears. So he said, Are, you are believing the voice from there and you are thinking the 8 will kill you? And then Narad Muni shows a lotus and removes the petals. He says, in this lotus around, the petals around the lotus stem, which is the earth? Which is the earth, he said. So he said, this is Vishnu. First can be earth, second can be earth can be 7, 7 can be 5th. You are trusting him. Then Kamsa decides, I will kill all of them. So one by one, he kills the 6 babies of Vasudeva and Devaki. In the 7th one, it is said, whenever the Lord appears, before him, Lord Balaram appears. Now, he doesn't only appear as the Lord's brother. He appears as everything. We will read that from the Chaitanya Charitamrita. He appears as the Lord's holy dham. He appears as Lord's helmet. He appears as Lord's clothes. He appears as Lord's paduka. He appears all other expansions, everything. So, Lord Balaram was ordered to appear before him. So now, Lord Balaram first manifests into the womb of Devaki. And then the Lord orders Yogamaya. He tells her that you please transfer this baby from the womb of Devaki to the womb of Rohini. And Rohini is also the wife of Vasudeva, who was actually hiding from Kamsa. She was taking shelter of Nanda Maharaj and Vrindavan Dham at Gokul. So she was staying there. And Lord Balaram was transferred by Yogamaya from the womb of Devaki to the womb of Rohini. And then Yogamaya manifests. We know in Krishna pastime, Yogamaya manifests there. So Lord Krishna also tells Yogamaya, by doing this transfer, you will also be worshipped more than me. He said, more than me, in various places on the earth. So that is why we see the expansion of Yogamaya in all the human race. Everyone has a Kuladevi. All of you have a Kuladevi or not? Huh? All of you have a Kuladevi, no? My parents used to make my life difficult, My God. Because once you know Krishna is the master of the Kuladevi, then you will prefer to please Krishna, and knowing that pleasing Krishna will please the Kuladevi. But the traditional families don't accept this. So she is more merciful. That's how she was blessed. So now Lord Balaram, he comes. It is said that Lord Balaram appears and makes everything auspicious before the Lord appears. And then the Lord appears there. So similarly, Lord Krishna appears there, and the pastime goes on that how Krishna actually he appears in Mathura, in the jail, and then from there he is taken to Gokul, where Yogamaya appears, right? Yogamaya appears to Mother Yashoda. But our acharyas explained that there were two babies born. One was Yogamaya, another baby was not visible to everyone. He appeared from the heart of Krishna. It's called Vrindavan Krishna. And this, Krishna from Mathura, it's called Vasudeva Krishna. He goes and merges into Nandan Krishna, Yashoda Nandan Krishna, who was born from the heart. So this our acharyas explain. And then the pastime goes on. Krishna, they both grow in Vrindavan in all the pastimes. In all the pastimes, Krishna Balaram is there. Because whenever Krishna is stealing the butter, Balaram is busy distributing it. Because he distributes the mercy. So like this, in all the pastimes he is there. Of course, 1-2 pastimes, there are things a little bit here and there. Like when Krishna eats the mud, eat the dust. So all the children go and complain to Yashoda Maya. When they complain to Yashoda Maya, so Mother Yashoda says, Krishna, why are you doing this? Why are you eating earth? He said, Maya, I did not. Hey, look at your brother Balaram. Even he today is complaining about you. He said, no, Maya, today I defeated him in morning in the match. So because I got defeated by him, he is envious of me. That's why he's on the other side today. Like that Krishna says. So like that, 1 or 2 places he's not with Krishna, but most of the time he's always distributing the mercy of the Supreme Lord. This is the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. Now, it is mentioned, sometimes people ask, who is Lord Balaram? And answer is that he is the elder brother of Krishna. However, he does many things besides that. Jai Shri Radha Madhav ki, Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maya ki, Shri Go Nitai ki. So he does many more things beside that. How to understand this is to first recognize that according to the Vedic scriptures, such as Srimad Bhagavatam, it is described that Lord Krishna is the primeval Lord, the original personality of Godhead. So he can expand himself into unlimited forms with all the potencies. They are not different from him. But many exhibits different in form and functions. The first he expands himself as Baladeva or Balaram, who is considered Krishna's second body, or Lord Balaram. Balaram assists the Lord in innumerable spiritual pastimes, both in the spiritual and the material realm. Lord Balaram is Sankarshana, the predominator of the creative energy. He creates and is also the shelter of material and spiritual world. By the will of Krishna and the power of the spiritual energy, Lord Balaram creates the spiritual world. Consists of planet Goloka, Vrindavan, Vaikuntha planets in the spiritual sky and the material realm. And he assists the Lord in that pastimes. Did you understand this? Very important to understand this thing, because this is there in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. He is the creator of the energy, he is the creator of the material and the spiritual world both. And he is original Sankarshana. This is there in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, chapter 20, verse 255 and 256. You can project that. Madhya Leela, Madhya 225 to 56. Got it? Yes. So this is the verse, we'll all chant together. Kriya Shakti Pradhana Sankarshana Balarama. Kriya Shakti Pradhana Sankarshana Balarama. Prakrita Prakrita Srishti Korena Nirmana. Prakrita Prakrita Srishti Korena Nirmana. Ahankarera Aste Ahankarera Adhishtata Krishnera Ichhaya. Goloka Vaikuntha Srije Chitta Shakti Vid Chitta Shakti Dwaraya. Goloka Vaikuntha Srije Chitta Shakti Dwaraya. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama Hare Rama. So as I mentioned, Lord Sankarshana is Lord Balaram. Being the predominator of the creative energy, he creates both material world and the spiritual world. The original Sankarshana, Lord Balaram, is the cause of both material and spiritual creation. Is that translation? He is the predominant deity of egoism, and by the will of Krishna and the power of the spiritual energy, he creates the spiritual world, which consists of the planet of Goloka, Vrindavan and Vaikuntha planets. So this is very important information for all of us to know that who is Lord Balaram, what is his activities. So other place it is also written, Lord Balaram specifically assists Lord Krishna in creation of the material world. Balaram has expanded himself into Lord Mahashankarshana. He expands himself to 4 different forms, includes Karunodakshay Vishnu, Mahavishnu, second Garbhodakshay Vishnu, the Vishnu expansion of each universe. We know innumerable universes comes out. From that each universe there is one Vishnu who is called Garbhodakshay Vishnu. Then there is Shirodakshay Vishnu, the third one, the super soul in each living being. Each living being has a super soul within the heart. That is Shirodakshaya Vishnu. And the Sesha. Every universe is holded, no? By Sesha. It is said like a mustard on his head. So that, the four forms. And who assists the Lord's personal services. He assists the Lord in his personal services. He is also called Ananta because of meaning unlimited, because he assists the Lord in his unlimited varieties of pastimes and keeps on glorifying. It is said, Ananta Shesha, please imagine this. He is still speaking Bhagavatam to the four Kumaras. He is speaking still pastimes to the four Kumaras. Srila Gaur Govind Maharaj explains that the 18,000 verses Bhagavatam we have. He says other lokas and demigods have 18 lakhs of verses of Bhagavatam. We say no, Krishna's pastimes are unlimited. So lakhs and crores of verses of Bhagavatam exist. And Ananta is still speaking that and is not ending. Because Ananta also goes into ecstasy while speaking Krishna's pastime, Balaram. So in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, this is described. We'll sing that also today. In the Adi Leela 5.4, 5th chapter, verse number 4 and 6 and verse number 8 and 11 describes this. Sarva avatari Krishna Swayam Bhagavana Sarva avatari Krishna Tanhara Dvitiya Dehe Shri Balarama Shri Balarama Ekahi Swarupa Done Bhinna Matra Kaya Padone Bhinna Matra Kaya Adya catur-vyuha Krishna Leela Rasahaya Sri Krishna Navadipe Sri Chaitanya Chandra Sei Balaram Sange Shri Nityananda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Can someone, is the translation there? Huh? Someone read the translation loudly.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna is the fountainhead of all incarnations. Lord Balarama is his second body. These two are one and the same idea. They differ only in form. Lord Balaram is the first body that consists of Krishna, and he assists Lord Krishna's company. Now, neither Lord Krishna appeared in the Navadvipa as Lord Chaitanya, and Balarama appeared in him as Lord Nityananda.
So, Supreme Lord Krishna is the fountainhead of all incarnations. Balaram is the second body. Can they put up? They can start that later, that light. Tell them to start that light later. So, Lord Balaram is the original Shankar and assumes the 5 other forms to serve Lord Krishna. He himself helps Krishna's pastimes, and it is the work of creation in the 4 other forms. I just read out the 4 other forms. Karnodakshaya Vishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, Shrodakshaya Vishnu, and Shesh. So this is also mentioned in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, the further verses from 8 to 11. We'll recite that also. Shri Balarama Goshai Mula Sankarshana Shri Balarama Goshai Pancharupe Dhari Korena Krishnera Sevana Krishnera Sevana Apane Karena Krishna Leela Sahaya Shri Shri Leela Karaya Kare Dhari Chari Kaya Shri Shri Adhika Seva Tandra Agyara Palana Shri Shri Adhika Seva Tandra Agyara Palana Shesha Rupa Kare Krishnera Vivida Sevana Sarva Rupa Aswadhaye Krishnera Sevananda Sei Balarama Gaura Sange Nityananda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Lord Balaram is the original Sankarshana. He assumes the 5 other forms to serve Krishna. He himself helps in pastimes of Lord Krishna. He does the work of creation in the 4 other forms. He executes Lord Krishna in the work of creation and in the form of Lord Sesa. He served Krishna in various ways. In all other forms, he tastes the transcendent bliss of serving Krishna. That same Balaram is Nityananda, the compassionate companion of Lord Gaurasundara. So, this is the description. Now, there are some more extract from different verses from Srimad Bhagavatam. I'll read them. To explain more clearly the expansion of the Lord, Krishna begins with all his for his, this is not there. Sarvapriya, this is not there. I'm reading from. For his pastimes in one of the highest level of the spiritual realm, called Dwarka, Krishna expands himself into Balaram, who then expands himself into Pradyumna and Anirudha. These four expansions into the second quadruple, which is present in the ultimate Vaikuntha planet of the spiritual sky. The second quadruple is known as Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Pradyumna and Anirudha. This is all technical, but very important to know. They are changeless, transcendental expansion of the Supreme Lord Krishna. In the second quadruple, Vasudeva is an expansion of Krishna and Sankarshana is an expansion of Lord Balaram. Now, coming down, in the Vaikuntha spiritual sky, there is the pure spiritual creative energy called Shuddha Sattva that sustains all the spiritual planets with the full opulence of knowledge, wealth, power and beauty, all of which pervades the entire spiritual kingdom are fully enjoyed by the residents there. This energy is but the display of the creative potencies of Balaram, Mahasankarshana. It is also this Sankarshana who is the original cause of causal ocean, which takes the shape of a cloud in the corner of the spiritual sky, where the Karunodaksha Vishnu, Mahavishnu sleeps. While breathing out of the seeds of innumerable universes, this is the start of the material creation in the ocean of Karana, in the Karana ocean, also called as causal ocean, in which the material universe are manifest. When the cosmic creation is annihilated, all the materially conditioned, although destructible living entity merge back into the body of Mahavishnu, where they rest until the time of next creation. Lord Balaram is Sankarshana, the original Mahavishnu, from whom originates all other potencies of material manifestation. Understood? I am still trying to understand last 20 years. But it is very important. We will understand this, but we will forget, because that's why we have to keep reading. And these are the auspicious days when we can read and hear and understand more. So, to summarize, for his spiritual pastimes in Vaikuntha realm, Lord Krishna has original four expansions, namely Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Pradyumna, Anirudha. Mahavishnu is the expansion of Sankarshana, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is the expansion of Pradyumna, and Shirodakshaya Vishnu is the expansion of Anirudha. Clear? Understood? I came across one image while I was preparing. So, in that image, Krishna's and expansions and the sequence of what I read is explained, is visualized. Yeah, you can enlarge this, yes, okay. This is the maximum I can explain you, okay, with my knowledge. So, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as I explained in the beginning. From Krishna, because he is supreme, he doesn't depend on anyone, right? Correct? From him, he is Shakti. He is what we call, his first expansion is Lord Balaram. who assists in all the pastimes and creates all the facilities for the pastimes of the Lord. That is Balaram. And then there is also pleasure-giving potency, who also manifests from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Can you see that? Radharani is written there, right side. Now, I just now read it. From Lord Balaram, there is another expansion, which is Anirudha, Vasudeva, Sankarshana and Pradyumna. From them, four of them comes Adi Narayan, Lord Narayan. Now if you see, you go up, go down, you see there is an arrow of Lakshmi being consort of Lord Narayan, and there is a left arrow going down. Go down that arrow. Go down of the image. Yeah, expand that little. Yes. You cannot go down more. Pull down. Yes. So from that Narayan, Krishna's different avatars, they come from the Narayan up there. Show there. From there. Are you able to understand? And the avatars are written down. Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Narsimha, Vamana, Parshuram, Rama, Balaram, Buddha, Kalki. There are all Leela avatars, Manvantar avatars, Yuga avatar, Shaktavesh avatar, 11 Shiva expansion controlling the deities, 8 Vasus and Adityas. And from the Narayan, again there is another there is another 4, what we call quadruple expansions. You can see that. Then from them there is another 4 expansions who takes care of the creation. I just read out of it. Karunodakshay Vishnu, Garbhodakshay Vishnu, Shirodakshay Vishnu and Ananta. So now you try to understand from this, who is Lord Balaram? How does he assist the Supreme Lord? We just know he is the elder brother of Krishna and the first expansion. But if you read Bhagavatam and hear from the senior Vaishnavas, you get to learn more and more detail. What is the position of Lord Balaram? I hope are you understanding a little bit or? So, but, yeah, you can stop. But, let it be. But originally, in essence, it is mentioned, Lord Balaram's appearance is majorly, in essence, everything put together is to glorify the Supreme Lord and personally serve Him in every possible way. He is the symbol of the constitutional position of every jiva. Jivera swarup hoye, Krishnera nitya das. And Lord Balaram is the example symbol of that. We all hear that Jivera swarup hai Krishna. But after Balaram serving like this, the Lord, what we can serve? Just imagine our insignificant position. How Lord Balaram is serving, what service we can do? It is by the mercy of Lord Balaram, who expands himself as the spiritual master. Adi Guru, Lord Nityananda. It is said the spiritual master, the Shiksha and Diksha Guru, or the Pada Padaksha Guru. Pada Padaksha Guru, one who shows the path. Arey, go here, ISKCON temple is there. Arey, come to our temple, take this book. Or parents who tell, go to the temple. Or the spiritual master who initiates and gives Diksha. Or various Shiksha Gurus who keep guiding us in our spiritual life at different stages. All of them put together are the mercy expansion of Lord Balaram. They are all expansion of Lord Balaram, but Shakti Tattva, not the Vishnu Tattva. This is the Vishnu Tattva. Please try to understand, this is very important. This is the Vishnu Tattva. And that Balaram, who just comes to serve, is also glorified in the Chaitanya Chaitamrita. Chaitanya Chaitam, Adi Leela, 5th chapter, verse number 120. I think I send you that also. How he becomes the menial servant and even menial object of his service. Saita Ananta Sesha Bhakta Avatara Saita Ananta Sesha Ishvarera seva vina nahi jane ara Sahasra vandana kore Krishna guna gana Krishna guna gana Niravadi guna gana Ananta nahi pana Sanakadi Bhagavata Shuneyandra Mukhe Bhagwanera guna kahe Vashe prema sukhe Vashe prema sukhe Chhatra paduka shaya Upadana vasana Upadana vasana Amara Armara avasa yagya sutra Simhasana Arama avasa yagya Sutra Simhasana Eta murti veda kari Krishna seva kare Krishnera Sheshatapana Sheshanamadhare Krishnera Sheshatamana Namadhare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare This is very beautiful. That Ananta Shes is the devotee incarnation of Godhead. He knows nothing but service to Lord Krishna. With his thousands of mouth, he sings the glories of Lord Krishna. But although he always sings in that way, he does not find an end to the qualities of the Lord. Just I told, no? He is glorifying Krishna, he is speaking the pastime, but he is not able to end it. Because he doesn't find an end. To what? This is the understanding who is Krishna. There is no end to his glories. There is no end to his glories. When you understand God, you understand the meaning from the scriptures. Only the Bhagavatam and Gita explains those detailed meaning. God is great. This is the meaning how great he is. It's there. And then, 4 Kumaras hear Srimad Bhagavatam from his lip. And they in turn repeat the transcendental bliss of the love of Godhead. The 4 Kumaras hear them and they also preach. He serves Krishna assuming all the following forms: umbrella, slippers. Today if you tell someone to just move someone's slippers or pick someone's slippers, immediately. In fact, sometime when our new boys, they joined Radheshyam Prabhu when he used to train us, I'm an engineer. I have worked in this company and I want to join your mission. I said, welcome, Hari Bol. And next day morning, for next 6 months, you kill the toilet and bathrooms. Toilet, bathroom? When I joined Pune, for the first time when I left home and I went and was staying with Radhe, those days Radheshyam used to stay next to us. So I was given the service to serve the assist. I went like, I'm from a business family and I felt that it is so great that I'm joining. And I was more thinking that I am joining. I am joining. I am devoting. We have horn, ting, 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 Prabhupada's program is to make us humble. Lord Balaram exemplifies that process of becoming humble. So when I joined, I was told 3 days I was given very nice prasadam, Rajbhog, Sandhya Bhog, Mangal Bhog, Rasbalai, everything. 4th day I was sleeping. After he sleeping Rajbhog, the manager came, shaking my leg. Hare Krishna. बोला आप ही है क्या श्री हरि? बोला हाँ. बोला आपका सेवा डिसाइड हो गया. बोला अच्छा चलो. I dressed up, took a bath, fresh, and then they took me to the kitchen. They took me the store. From the store I cast another dirty go down. From there I went to the kitchen. And there were big vessels, big burners. And there was one cook. He said, ये आपको help करेगा next 3 महीना. So I was looking at him, one person. I was looking at some more helpers. Nobody was there. And I was looking at the big vessels. Then he said, इधर आओ. ये लो, वो ड्रम में जाओ, 10 मग चावल लो, 3 मग दाल, 4 मग दाल लो, उसको धो करके, वो बड़ा बोलता है छन्नी, वो दे करके उसको धुला के ले क्या करें. 3 days I did. 4th day, I was not getting sleep because of the body pain. I was thinking, am I sure that I'm going to live like this for the rest of my life? Am I sure that this is what is my goal of my life? I was really thinking seriously, but then by that time some Mahaprasad came. I forgot it. Some Mahaprasad came and I forgot it. And by eating prasad, days went by and I'm still there, So, Lord Balaram, he takes so much pain. He exemplifies, extends himself in any way to serve the Supreme Lord. And as I was mentioning, all our spiritual masters, they are expansion of Lord Balaram. They help us by teaching us the scriptures, exemplifying as acharyas, following themselves what the scriptures are mentioning, and helping us to come out of a various situation and join the mission of Lord Chaitanya. Like our Sridhar Maharaj, who used to be in Juhu temple, is called Acharya, who's our very, very dear leader of Juhu temple. He left his body in 2004. But he used to always say, in the Western world, the biggest challenge for a person to become a devotee is Mahapap. Mahapap. Because there is so much sin in the Western world. Everything is easily available. Alcohol is easily available. Meat eating is the diet from morning, from the birth. Meat eating is a diet. And then illicit sex relationship, gambling is just like a part of life there. It's like flowing in the blood. It's in the consciousness. So he said, for the Westerners, the biggest challenge is Mahapap. And for the Indians, he says, for the Indians, Mahabap. In India, if someone becomes a devotee and tells, I want to join the temple, mother and father will beat their chest and they'll cry, क्या हो गया, हमारा संसार में नाम खराब हो गया, हमारा परिवार में किसको दिखाएंगे, बिल्डिंग वाले क्या सोचेंगे, ये धोती पहन के तिलक पहन के मंदिर जा रहा है, रात को दारू पी के लड़की के साथ में घर आएगा चलेगा, मगर सुबह 4 बजे उठ के धोती पहन के मंदिर जाएगा तो नहीं चलेगा. He says, माँ बाप. Unfortunately, because of the British education system, which discarded the Vedic education, Mahabharata and Ramayana, no values now. So what is left? The values only earning. Tu kuch bhi kar, paisa kama. Bas. Whatever you do, you earn money. Recently, we had a congregation yatra in Mayapur. So I was just mentioning that how in this material world, we are destined with our pains and pleasures. We are destined with the pains and pleasures. We will not get 1 paisa more than that. And people are having big materialistic plans. So in that course of my usual comments on these issues, so I was just making one comment that people now are become very intelligent. But with that intelligence, they cannot live peacefully. The poor are always thinking how the rich are enjoying and how I will become rich. And the rich are always in anxiety that how happy I was poor. कम से कम 2 रोटी टाइम पे खाता था खुशी से. Now तो even that is not there. And anxiety is so much. You know why? Because they become more intelligent. Because the mind works in such a way, the material nature works in such a way, if you have a job, immediately it will say how you should increase your package. If the package is increasing, it will tell you, invest on a land. If that investment after 3 years will increase so much, invest on a flat. If you invest on a flat, you will get rent, then you don't have to work. You don't have to work. But the anxiety is, rent fellow, if he doesn't vacate the flat, then कोई भाड़े पे दे दिया, अगर flat नहीं छोड़ेगा तो, that anxiety. Oh, better investment is mutual funds. Mutual funds. हाँ, mutual fund, हाँ, good tension नहीं. So you put on the mutual funds. After mutual fund, you don't sleep only. Because you keep watching what is the situation at the company you invested on the shares. Day and night, the company uthi ki hai, And then the mutual fund also gives you such proposals. They'll tell you that it is so amazing, in 20 years you will get something like this. And then there are many other things written, they will not explain you that, the mutual fund agents. That they will only explain you when you want to take your money back. And when you want to take your money back, they'll tell you that, sir, you invested 10 lakhs. If you take now, you will only get the 10 lakhs only. The last 5 years interest you will not get because you are not waiting for the 10 years. Then he said, जान दो, ये भी रहने दो, वो भी रहने दो, मैं और काम करता हूँ गधे जैसा, ये रहने दो. You are locked for next 10. And then for next 25 years, you see your investment only on the screen. Only on the screen. This is how the material nature works. There is no end to it. And Ma and Bap, more materialistic parents, they have this goal. हमारा बच्चा ये कर ले, set हो जाएगा. And the horrible material world, there are all meat eaters, women hunters. Some people think that I will do everything and then I will come and serve Krishna. Only. But they don't understand when we work outside, we not only earn money, we also earn the consciousness of the people. And many times you have seen, there are very wonderful congregation who serve from the day one in whatever capacity, whatever skill, by money, by their talent, by their time. They are completely different. Otherwise, in general, they will just do this, plan material things very nicely, and they think that now I'll come. But they come with sufficient money in their account, so they don't have to earn. But they also come with the consciousness. And what is the consciousness? Outside world, criticism. Criticism is the common thing. Dosha nidhi, always finding fault in the world. Always finding fault. You come earning that also. That's why many times our temple devotees, like our full-time devotees, they serve. In 3 years they get initiated, but 365 days their blood, every drop of their blood is only serving. And then suddenly a devotee will come from outside. He is initiated now. Actually, they should do it like this. This should have been like this. Actually, it could be better like this. Like that, Because you earn that from outside. Whereas we are supposed to be focusing on becoming more humble in association of devotees. Not doing prajalpa. Like, there is one famous story. There was one donkey and a horse. Donkey and a horse. Both were eating grass. Both were eating grass. So, now how prajalpa and how the punishment comes, how the guru also orders. So they both got into an argument. Because the grass was little green and the grass was little yellow. So the horse said, wow, the grass is so green and tasty today. Donkey said, na. The grass is yellow and tasty today. And they both had a very big argument. All the donkeys and horses gathered. Almost they were going to punch each other. So they said, no fighting, we'll go to the king. So they went to the lion. So lion heard both of them. He said, donkey, you get lost, he says. And he says, the horse, give him double punishment. Double punishment? He said, Arey, he is a donkey, he doesn't know the horse is green. Above that, you are telling me double punishment? He said, yes. The king lion said, why? He said, why? He said, first is, तू गधे के मुंह लगा. उसके लिए पहला punishment. दूसरा, उससे बहस करके यहाँ पर आ गया और मेरा भी टाइम लिया. इसी के लिए double punishment. So that is why in spiritual life we should be very, very careful. What we talk, with whom we talk, what topics are we commenting on, how much are we qualified. That is what our spiritual master, Lord Nityananda, Lord Balaram, they want the jivas. Because if you see, we are not qualified to serve Krishna, neither Krishna depends on our service. It is not that Lord Balaram is coming, and these people will serve Krishna, Krishna will get so much help. It is not like that. It is not like that. We are so important, we will serve Krishna. Lord Balaram himself is efficient to serve Krishna. But by being kind and being merciful on us, the Lord comes as the spiritual master and He delivers us. He delivers us. Lord Balaram, Nityananda, the spiritual master, the Shakti avatars. That is why they teach us only contemplate about Krishna. Chintan. Chintan about Krishna. If you do chintan about the material life and material prosperities, you will always be in chinta. Always be in chinta. That's why we should always have spiritual chintan, so that we will always have spiritual anxiety. Srila Prabhupada mentions, our anxiety to serve Krishna will take us back home, back to Godhead. That's why it says, chinta and chintan. Both burns the body. And then chinta also leads to chitta, which also burns the body. That is why chintan is very important. What do we contemplate upon? It's very, very, very important. So today is very auspicious day, Lord Balaram's pastimes. So there are some pastimes which I'll share, like Lord Balaram. He used to be always with Lord Krishna in forest. So one day, Krishna, Balaram and all the cowherd boys, they were in Talwan, one of the 12 forests of Vrindavan. So all the cowherd boys, they reached at one point and they stopped. And Madhu Mangal started shivering and also doing like this. Because the tal fal smell was coming, and also he was shivering of the demon Dhenuka. So he told that, look, tal fal is very tasty. It is very, very tasty. But tal one is in the custody of Dhenuka and his associates, and they are all men of Kamsa. We can only send the tal fal here and be happy. So Lord Balaram says, no, we will eat, come with me. Lord Balaram enters and goes ahead inside. And he goes inside, deep inside the tal one, and sees the beautiful tal trees with beautiful tal fal, full fragrance of tal fal. And then he sees and he starts shaking trees. Dar, 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 dar. When Lord Balaram is shaking, imagine he's Ananta Shesh. If he's shaking a tree, whole universe will shake. He's shaking the tree. Dar, 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 dar. All the tal fal were falling down. And by that time, Dhenukasur and his associates, they get it. For them it was like earthquake. Dar, 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 dar. They will come. Who's this? Who came into our territory? And then they came to know some boys are playing here, and one of them is breaking the tal fal and distributing among them. Dhenuka gets angry and he comes out. Dhenukasur is in the form of a donkey, huge donkey, very huge donkey. So he takes his two front hands and he hits the chest of Lord Balaram. Lord Balaram, like a dust, no? Fells. Dust nobody touches, no? Dhool agar aa gaya to, like that something maximum, nobody. So Lord Balaram did not shake also. And when the second time Dhenuka tries to kick Lord Balaram, because he gets more frustrated seeing nothing happen. Balaram is a small boy. And Dhenuka is a huge donkey. Dham karke he takes and Lord Balaram is standing. And second time he says, I'll kick him with more force. He tries to kick Lord Balaram through the back legs. And Lord Balaram holds the leg and spins around. Zoom, 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 zoom. He don't even throw him. Before throwing, he leaves his body. Before the Lord throws him, he leaves his body. And the Lord throws him on the tal vriksha. And he goes and fells on. When other donkeys, donkey was shouting. Other donkeys come running. By the time Krishna also comes into the field, and both of them, in the childhood you have played, have you ever played something, like top, guma guma, kya bolte usko? Top, not top. Top को हिंदी में क्या बोलते हैं? लट्ठू, 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 लट्ठू घुमा के फेंकते हैं. घुमा के they were playing, throwing all demons, and demons were filling on the trees and whole tal vriksha. In the tal vriksha, it was looking like a Dhenuka vriksha, and tal fal were all down, and all the coward boys were eating the tal vriksha. So this passion is there about Lord Balaram. One more pastime, when Krishna and Balaram were praying in one of the forest, one demon who takes a form of a calf, and he comes, and Krishna and Balaram, and they are playing with the calf. Actually, he is a bull, demon bull, but he takes a form of a coward boy. I'm sorry. He takes a form of a coward boy. He's a bull, but he takes a form of a coward boy. And he comes, and all the coward boys, they look at him, but they never saw this coward boy before. So, Arjun Sakha, he asked, hey, who are you? He said, my name is Pralamb. So would you like to play? I have come to play only. Okay, come. So they started playing. They were pulling ropes and wrestling with the rope strength. Whoever pulls the one side with the rope holders on the other side, the losing side have to take the winning side on their shoulder and run around and take a round of the forest. Give a round of the forest. And for round of the forest means the cowherd boy will sit and he will, like a horse, he will take a ride. Okay, come here, let's go here, like that. So Pradyumna chooses Lord Balaram. That they lose purposely, he makes them lose first, and then he takes Lord Balaram. And then he takes Lord Balaram on his shoulders and goes deep into the forest. Now we all know Lord Balaram is holding Ananta. Isn't it? Lord Balaram is holding Ananta. you can imagine the weight of Lord Balaram if he increases. So increase the weight on Pralambasur. And Pralambasur thought, when he got on me, he was like a cotton. Now he is like a mountain and he is increasing. The Pralambasur increased his height also, his weight and body also. And while he was increasing, Balaram gave one punch and his eyes came out, blood came off his mouth and he fell down and blood is coming out from his mouth. He fell down and died on the spot. He died on the spot. Sometimes Lord Krishna, because he loves his devotees, and Krishna likes the glorification of his devotees more than his own glorification. Krishna likes the glorification of his own devotees more than, and who is greater devotee than Lord Balaram? So, one day Lord Balaram was very tired in the forest. So he was sleeping in the lap of one of the cowherd boys. Lord Krishna comes there and he starts giving massage to Lord Balaram. And then he starts telling, Dauji, you are super, huh? Without you, nothing can happen in Braja. You are so magnanimous, and because you are my brother, I am so fearless. You are so powerful. And look, your strength, all other actually I am killing the demons, but they die before seeing you next to me. They surrender before seeing. And like the Lord Krishna also sometimes glorifies. After Krishna and Balaram go to Mathura, Krishna river comes back to Vrindavan, and he also comes back to Vrindavan. That's a different subject. But Lord Balaram, he comes to Vrindavan at the order of Krishna. When he comes to Vrindavan, he has his set of gopis with whom he does his pastimes. He performs his rasa. So one day, to perform his rasa, he went to the forest of Vrindavan. And he went to a bank where Yamuna was far away, not visible. And he was having his rasa. So he requested Yamuna Devi that please flow on the Ram Ghat where Balaram is performing his Rasa Leela. So Yamuna Devi, maybe in more separation from Lord Krishna, did not give attention. So Lord Balaram felt offended. He took his plow, made it big, and put on the middle of Yamuna and started scratching, rolling and dividing Yamuna into hundreds of streams. And Yamuna Devi shivers. That is there. Yamuna Devi manifests there to Lord Balaram in front of his gopis, and she actually, she folds her hands and flows from Ram Ghat. Even that Ram Ghat is there today in Vrindavan. Dinabandhu Prabhu can see it and he shows it also. He shows the streams which, if you see carefully, you can understand that Lord Balaram with his plow has actually divided Yamuna into so many streams. You can see there Yamuna Devi appears. So, even in Mahabharata, actually, there is one pastime. Once what happens, Samba, who is the son of Jambavati and Krishna. He is the son of Jambavati and Krishna. He goes to a Swayambar of who? Lakshmana, who is a daughter of? And you know what Samba does there? Middle of the Swayambar, he kidnaps Lakshmana and runs away from there. And all the Kauravas, they get freaked out. They just go mad about it. Then what does this Yadukul Vasis think of themselves? What do they think? We are Kauravas holding Hastinapur. They are, Yaduvamshis. And what do they, how can they do this? Because Krishna is coward boy. So they felt very offended. From his side they can do bad. So they kidnap. They kidnap whom? Samba. They kidnap Samba and put him in the prison. And here, all Krishna's family members, Balaram's family members, they all become furious and shouting. They all gather. बोला इतना इनका साहस, ये कौरवों का इतना साहस, इनका इतना. Lord Krishna Maharaj explains very nicely in Sampurna Bhagavatam. He says, अरे इन बेशर्मों का इतना साहस, हमारे टुकड़ों पर जीते, हमारे बल पे युद्ध जीतते, और ये हमारे बेटे को किडनैप कर, इनकी हिम्मत कैसे? They all prepare and directly, without any consideration, all of them in their own groups start heading towards Hastinapur to attack and kill all the Kauravas, or do whatever is required to save their prestige. By that time, Lord Balaram stands up. He said, because wherever Duryodhana comes, Lord Balaram is very affectionate to Duryodhana. Because Duryodhana was a very skilled disciple. Bhima was a very powerful and devoted to Krishna, but Duryodhana was very skilled in the art of club. So Balaram used to like him for that. So he said, no, I will go myself and I will speak to the Kauravas. And Lord Balaram goes alone. And all of them having ego on their head, and as if smoke is coming from their head and ears, looked at Balaramji very angrily. They were already very disappointed looking at Balaram, and they understood he has come to negotiate and take Sambhai. So nothing, and everyone started speaking about the glories of their Kuru Vamsha and how he got defamed because of Sambha's act. No question. Lord Balaram tried to preach them. They were not listening, not ready to listen. So Lord Balaramji took this plow, took it up in the air and made it very big and took it to the other side of Hastinapur. With all these people who were shouting, he started dragging Hastinapur into Ganga. He started practically dragging. You see here, then all the Yavadevim say, bachao, they all fell at Lord Balaram's feet. Immediately, officially declared the marriage of Lakshmana and Samba and let him go. So, Srila Gaur Govind Maharaj says, the Guru has two sides. One is Radharani who engages. Because we say, no, Nikunja yena ratikeli siddhya yayale bhiryu dirabhekshani. The spiritual master, he is assisting the Manjaris, the Gopis, to assist Srimati Radharani to serve Krishna. So that's the way the spiritual master who is assisting there, he also engages us in the service. But the other side of the spiritual master has two sides, Srimati Radharani and Balaram. The other side of the spiritual master is holding the plow. And whenever he sees the disciples' ego up and down, thaka, peet paat ke, level karke, he makes him qualified so that he gets engaged. All what we go through in our spiritual life in ISKCON is the warranty still working. What is the warranty of ISKCON? In this lifetime, we will make you follow the 8 verses of Chaitanya Charitamrita. What? In this lifetime, we will make you follow the... So, whatever is required to shape you up, you will be gifted within ISKCON to follow the 8 verses of Chaitanya. That is what Lord Balaram does. That is what Lord Nityananda does. That is what our spiritual masters, our authorities, they do for us. So, these are some pastimes from Bhagavatam. Within ISKCON also, there was one pastime which I heard from in one festival in Rajapur. Actually, Anwari's temple of Rajapur in Jagannath Puri. In Mayapur, there is one temple, Jagannath temple at Rajapur. So that temple, there are Jagannath, Baladeva, Subhadra deities. It is said they manifested and they came to Srila Prabhupada and ISKCON with their personal will. There's a big pastime how they were not being properly worshipped, and from the temple, from the backfield, ISKCON temple is very close by, from the backfield of Rajapur temple and Radha Madhav temple in Mayapur. So the pujari one day got a dream. In that dream, from the fields, Krishna, Balaram and Subhadra, they were jumping and running from the field to Radha Madhav temple. So the pujari got up and started running. Where are you going? He said, we are going to ISKCON. Why are you leaving me? Mula, there they are serving so nice prasad to Radha Madhav. And here you are starving us. We better be there. From the next day, the pujari went to Radha Jayapataka Swami. The story is big, I am cutting it short. He begs Radha Jayapataka Maharaj, please accept them, they want to be worshipped by you. The same deity, one day, there was one small boy. When this pastime was told, I was there. One small boy, he saw the deity of Jagannath, Baladeva, Subhadra and Rajapur. And he saw the beautiful Subhadra Devi's jewelry. And this small boy was 3 years old. He actually jumped on the altar and was just up to grab Devi Subhadra's necklace. Lord Balaram ji thak karke pushed him. And Pankajangri Prabhu saw this. Pankajangri Prabhu saw this. When one devotee was telling this, Pankajangri Prabhu and that boy who was now 16 years old, both were there, and I personally heard this past time of Lord Balaram. Lord Baldev ki! So as I said, Lord Balaram is Lord Nityananda Prabhu. And Lord Nityananda Prabhu, in the Lord who is not different than Lord Balaram, who is Adi Guru, who is the spiritual master. We know when Lord at Naimisharanya, when Romaharshana Sutta, he was actually speaking Bhagavatam. Oh, that photo is there, I guess. Yeah. He was speaking Srimad Bhagavatam. And in Naimisharanya, all the sages and rishis of the creation were there. And Lord Balaram appeared. Lord Balaram. So everyone there stood up when Lord Balaram appeared. And Romaharshana Sutta was sitting there, thinking that he is a big Bhagavat. Who's the Adi Bhagavat is Balaram. So he didn't respect the spiritual master only. So Lord Balaram just took a grass and just touched Romaharshana Sutta and went from there. As soon as he touched Romaharshana Sutta fell dead. You can see that he's falling dead. Thak karke he fell dead just by touch of the grass. This is Lord Balaram. But same Lord Balaram, when he appears as Lord Nityananda Prabhu, he holds the grass in his mouth and folding his hands, he begs everyone, please chant, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. That Nityananda Prabhu, that Balaram, when Madai hit him, that is not there. When Madai hit him with the pot on his head, Nityananda's head was bleeding. And Nityananda smiled at Madai and told him, you are happy and satisfied to see me like this. At least now take the shelter of Lord Chaitanya and chant Hare Krishna. With tears in his eyes, he was begging. At least now, you please take shelter of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and chant Hare Krishna. Once when I visited Katwa, where Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas, there, one devotee, local devotee told me a story of which I don't have a praman, but he told me a beautiful story, which you can feel it, how much true it is. He said, as soon as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas and he decided that now he will go to Puri and reside there, Lord Nityananda became very worried and he was in very much anxiety, because he knew the moment Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu leaves Gaudadesh, leaves Bengal and heads towards Puri, before he will reach Puri, all the devotees of Bengal will leave their bodies. They cannot live without Lord Chaitanya. So Nityananda Prabhu gathered all the leaders of Gaudadesh in Katwa and very seriously discussed and sent all leaders of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Bengal to preach in various places. Because Lord Nityananda Prabhu knew the devotees of Lord can only be alive in two actions. One, either they are personally with the Lord in His pastimes, or second, when they are preaching the message of the Lord and the glories of the Lord. These are the two things which keeps a devotee alive. By this, what do we understand? every one of us should be living a life which should have a reason to assist the Sankirtan mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is what Lord Nityananda Prabhu did. And from him, all other acharyas and our dearmost Srila Prabhupada and his dearmost disciples and all our leaders of ISKCON. They have only one goal, which is of Balaram, Nityananda Balaram has, to engage people, keeping them alive. Preaching the glories of the Lord is being alive in his pastimes. So that is why Lord Balaram, Lord Nityananda has this anxiety that keep everyone engaged. And Srila Prabhupada, in the form of ISKCON, has given us this beautiful movement wherein we can always be alive and associating with the Supreme Lord in serving the Sankirtan mission by preaching or assisting the preaching mission in various services. Sri Krishna Balaram ki, Sri Nityananda Ram ki, Sri Vrindavan Dham ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Thank you very much. I won't take any questions because we are already very late. Hare Krishna. You can ask me personally if you have questions. Because we also have to, we have Abhishek now. 11 o'clock? 11 o'clock. Hare Krishna.